Yeah. Well, your one's done.
Oh.
Wait, you guys haven't broken up for Easter yet?
Nope. I got Easter. I don't know when my Easter holiday is.
Oh, not next week or 2 weeks. Sorry.
2 weeks sounds more plausible.
Hey, I don't know if we
We might
can be
be
heard on
live.
stream.
Oh, we are live. Oh, so you got everyone a bit of behind the scenes there through the commentary box, and that's for Drive to Survive sneaking in there. Anyway, welcome to round 2 of VDRL Season 8. You may already recognize the voices in the commentary box. Alongside me is Will, just like last week. I'm sure I don't need to ask how you're doing. They probably heard that, but how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I'm
That's
excited.
not the same answer.
Well, yeah, we're okay tired. I'll say with my other answer, I'm tired. School's been tiring, so let's hope this is going to bring it back up again. You know, the energy as well. So hopefully, we'll be in for a good treat, especially if we're going to get the same we had in Baku.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'll bring that up in a second. And making his return to commentary back in the pit lane, Myro. You're down in the pit lane. How's it looking over there? It must be quiet right now, but I'm assuming the cars will be on their way shortly.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet right here, but I feel there is excitement over here. A lot of people talking. Strategy, of course. Cars beginning to run. A little bit of fuel here and there. Sometimes a fire, because why not? But I think people are ready. We have 20 drivers today, so all the teams are filled. I think this will be a nice game, a nice race, and I hope I gonna be woken up because I'm tired too. So.
Well, it's the calm before the storm. But well, how do we sum up Baku for anyone who's missed it? Because what I would say is watch after this. I could not sum that up. Race highlights are out. I mean, you got 17 minutes and 30 seconds before the race starts if you want to. I don't know how Martin or whoever does the race highlights managed to squeeze it down to, I think the video is about 20 minutes or so, could be less. I don't know how he managed to do that.
I would have expected to be longer. That was a hell of a Grand Prix, just for an opening round as well. I mean, that really brightened me up, and that definitely took away the tiredness away from me. But please go ahead, if you're watching the stream, go ahead and watch that race, because that was something else, and I really hope we're in for a treat here in Portugal. Obviously it's not as close, obviously with all the barriers and stuff. There's plenty of runoff room, but that's not saying we can't have safety cars, and well, looking at the clouds as well, are we in a chance of rain?
Well, everyone is making a mad dash out of the pit lane right now. You see a lot of outlaps out there. But something that this track has that Baku doesn't is this right here, elevation change, especially in the middle sector. I mean, this track is a roller coaster, up and down, left, right, through each other. Well, hopefully not that. We want to be avoiding contact. But yeah, it's an absolute incredible track, especially for qualifying. Watching these cars, if it's not raining, then add, like you said, cloudy, and everyone is making a mad dash out of the pit lane except for a handful of drivers, and like Myro mentioned earlier, full grid, so very interesting to see how that pans out as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be the biggest factor today. I mean, I'm excited for a full grid. Obviously we were down to 17 drivers last time and finished with 10 drivers, so 20 drivers is going to be interesting. Well, which, yeah, it was a bloodbath, wasn't it? But it's going to be interesting for this Grand Prix. From drivers making their debut for this season. But I mean, can we get along the talks of Kevin? Oh my God, frustrating last lap, and us commentators we were loving it. We were absolutely loving it, and we couldn't believe it. And I'm just going to point out now, if you look at the Williams there, who's on an outlet, he's on the intermediate tyres. Whether that's an error in the system or whether he's actually gone out into the inters. Not too sure what's going on there.
I do know sometimes people like to go out on inters to test their setups. So maybe we might be reading it wrong, as like he read the weather wrong. You know, it could just be very overcast and then it comes crashing down during the race, which I have seen multiple races in Portugal where it's full wet, especially with 20 drivers. And I just want to point out, turn one right, baby bus there's a lot of interesting names in the lobby. Baby Bus being one of them. The other one being Opel Corsa 12 kilometers an hour peak is also another one. Nilu we all know, Kevin we all know as well, but right now Kevin's lap is not that great. 18.6, that must have been a second outlap then. But yeah, turn 1, it's a very weird corner because you want to start out wide and you can't really make an overtake into it. If anything, you want to be on the outside so you can hold that momentum. On the inside, you're just going to get pinched on the apex, man. So you really need to wait until the second DRS straight, which, what would that be? Turn 5, I think, if my math is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but it is turn 5. That's probably the best overtaking spot on this track.
Yeah, definitely. I think the streams, I don't think it's showing the qualifying at the moment, but I'm sure it'll be fixed anytime soon.
It's raining.
It's raining. All right. Okay, so that's going to make it interesting.
Arrow, can we get confirmation from you in the pits?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yes. With my hand outside, I feel a bit of rain. Not too much yet, but it's beginning to feel a little bit wet. Or it's just my sweat for the race.
That is going to be
I
interesting.
am seeing a bit, just a wee bit of, droplets. Kevin now goes faster, 16-0. That's more like it than Jigs. What was he doing here? Jigs. That is. I'm not sure. Are you guys too new for Jigs? Will, you might know Jigs.
Maybe. Obviously, was he? He wasn't in the Monza race, was he?
No, he wasn't. But let me tell you something about Jigs. That man was arguably the quickest driver on F123.
Oh.
And it came crashing down on F124. Also, Toro's just invalidated, which is the most Toro thing ever.
Well, that was also what I was about to bring up. Toro, he was leading that Grand Prix.
Mate, it was whoever led had bad luck.
It was that bad luck, Tom. And Toro got the worst of it, I'm afraid, and managed to retire. Kevin managed only to take out the front wing, but obviously dropped him back. So, two drivers are going to be a key contender today on just trying to get their thing, but also keep an eye on Remus, because Rajic, because Rajic is going to want to, stay in front and secure his spot. As our stream has just paused, but we'll continue.
It really was whoever was in the lead bad luck. Nilu, something happened under the safety car there. He spun, went deep. Something happened. Toro then as well. Castle section. And then Kevin as well, so we'll have to see what happens here. And once again, don't forget about Nilu as well. He's only 2/10 off Kevin right now. And the last 3 races he was at, which was Monza last season, Baku, and now Portugal, he's been in that top 5 very consistently. And while Toro and Kevin are making mistakes around you, he picks up one of those pieces and finds himself in a good position.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, heading down over to the pit lane, Myro, can we expect to see? What will the strategies be today? Will it be a 2-stopper or will it be a 1-stopper? What are teams going to go for?
I'm not sure actually. 2-stopper is a pretty smart move if I'm being honest, but you save a lot of time with 1-stopper. So we don't know it yet, and we need to see in the race itself. Everyone, I think, is gonna start on another tire set, and by that we can see their strategy, maybe, hopefully, because with the safety car, strategies change all the time. We have almost every race a safety car, so it changes every time.
Yeah, 100% actually. So that is going to be the interesting part on what teams are going to play out. And we did have that case. Who was it? Was it Remus? Yellow. Was it Remus who came in? Or I think it's Toro who came in every single lap from the beginning, wasn't it?
The first full lap, he was in every lap.
That was it, and that was only front wing damage. So
his Wi-Fi might have cut out there. Will, are you there? Nope, so it seems like it was Will's Wi-Fi then, as Rajic goes purple in Sector 2 then. Martin, if you could quickly write, or maybe Maro just add him, say that he's gone or something like that. Or I might be gone as well, but I highly doubt that. As now Rajic around the final turn then, and up to the line then, first lap of the session, and it goes P2 then, barely ahead of Nilu, and Kevin doing what Kevin does his best. Milo, just to check, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Yes, so then it must be on Will's side, which is, good that it happens in qualifying and not in the race then, but that's never something you want to see. It seems like the terrible connection and service, or just anything. Can we talk about the new Discord update? Right? It looks horrible. I hate it.
Yeah, it's so black.
It's not only that, it's so like the logos on the left for all the servers used to be so big. Now they're tiny and they're like squares. I like the round one a lot more. So yeah. Anyway, now that rant is over, Myro, predictions for the race then.
Ooh, good question. Of course, Regic won the last season. I think he has in top all 4 seasons, but I can be wrong. I'm bad at numbers. So it's gonna be Kevin or Regic. I can't be sure. Kevin does have more laps right now on the qualifying and his points 2 ahead of Regic. But Regic is of course worse than Kevin at qualifying, but better at Kevin at the race and for sure at strategies. So I think he's gonna win it, but Kevin is gonna take pole in qualifying.
I agree with that. It's still very hard to call. I would like to see the weather before I make some predictions, I will be honest. In terms of safety cars, I think we'll have 2 if it's dry, 3 if it's wet. Kevin improved by 2:10.58, mate. That is disgusting. That's a brilliant lap. Tell you what, Kevin needs to stop doing time trial and start doing race simulation runs. Mate, quit the TT and start doing practice sessions, or just do a 50% race. I'd be happy to get him, maybe not around Portugal, but I could race at tracks like tracks where I have league races coming up as well. Then I can race. And yeah, I mean, season 8 of VDRL, we've come a long way. Of course, not too long ago we had the 3-year anniversary, and I'm sure something is going to be the same for the 3-year anniversary in either June or July. I can't remember. I think it was June. I'm fairly sure it was June. So we'll have those community races. But now Timo then is a brother and teammate is on pole then, while Martin is here in the commentary box streaming. So one of them is clearly being the laziest. Timo across the line then goes P15.82. That's more than 3 seconds behind Kevin then, as Kevin, I'm assuming he'll go into the pit. Like, careful. Here's that Ferrari. It's so hard to predict what someone does when they're letting you by. Toro went P2 meanwhile.
Yeah, not bad. 2 Alpines in front. Toro, we didn't saw most of the races last season, which was a bit sad, but I'm happy he's back. I'm happy the duo Toro and Regic, of course Constructors Champion and Drivers Champion Regic. I'm happy to see them back, because they're the greatest duo ever. They can win everything. They are gonna win the Constructors Championship this season. I say it now. It's my prediction. Give me money if I'm right.
You're almost drifting into the pit lane. I'm gonna quickly jump to the Haas call, our 2 Haas drivers, Lucic and Snai, and ask them what the weather is for the race. So I'll be right back, Myro. Yeah, entertain our fellow viewers. And if you have any questions, oh my god, Jigs is in that chat. Oh, Jigs, how have you been? Maybe I'm back next season. Now, are you gonna be washed, or are you actually gonna be good? And Will is also back. Will, are you on?
Yeah, I am back on, but I'm on a
on,
different
alright.
computer once again. But yeah,
Mate, just stay on that
Wi-Fi
computer.
problems. Yeah,
Just
it was,
stay on.
maybe stay on that, because that's been the case for quite some time now, hasn't it? But I don't believe I've missed out on too much. I've been watching the stream as well, so I haven't missed out on.
Top 3 and
prediction.
safe car. I'm gonna go ask the drivers what the weather is like for the race.
Good idea, actually, because well,
We
it's
got
gonna be
2 Haas
very
drivers. I'm gonna
interesting.
do that real quick. So you do your predictions, I'll do that. Cool.
All right. Well, are you gonna have you done your predictions, Nedzo? Sorry. Oh no, so sorry,
yeah.
Myro.
Yeah. Yes.
Scream it.
I for sure did. I think Regic is gonna take P2 at qualifying, but is gonna win the race.
My predictions for the top 3 will have to be Kevin taking the win there, because I am certainly convinced he will take it again. But well, hopefully again. And then Toro probably second, but I think those two are going to have an awesome fight at the front. And I think we're going to have a surprise on P3. Actually, I think P3 is going to be a quite a shocker, and it's not going to be who we expect it to be. But that's my prediction.
So who is it gonna be? P3?
P3, well,
Opel Corsa.
yeah, let's
we
go
put it
Corsa.
in.
Let's go Corsa.
Would be great if you're right with that. Would be very, very
I would love
surprising
that.
and
I
cool.
would celebrate.
P10
would
to
celebrate.
P3, driver of the day immediately.
That's what I love. That's what I'd love. But you know, as I said to you, Yellow, during the race in Baku, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it happened,
It's
didn't
so
it?
hard to put money on this, as Timo's been having connection issues, and I can confirm, in the race, it's gonna be clear. So no wets, no winters. So everyone, there'll be no additional factor to think of. So my predictions is, I'm trying to think past VDRL races around Portugal, but there's no. I'm gonna say P3 Nilu. Yep. I'm gonna say P2 is gonna be Rajic and P1 Kevin.
Okay.
And I've always said 2 safety cars.
2 safety cars. Well,
safety
how many did we have last time? Because did we
The
count
max. The
the
max.
virtual safety car?
The
Did we count
virtual.
the virtual.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was about 1,500, maybe going more.
Checks out. Checks
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
It felt like that. So,
Oh, Mavis is off.
you've already got enough. Which is Mavis and the Aston
Mavis-
Martin there.
Remember Baku, we went through the roster and we talked about Aston Martin having a strong lineup. Look at that, P5, P7. Until what? I reckon they can be on for P2 in the constructors here, because sure you got Kevin in P1, but where's Timo? Where is Timo? I can't even see him. Am I blind? Where is P18? Right.
P18, yeah.
Nilu, RB alone, his teammates down in P19. So I'm thinking that they will be second to the Alpine in the constructors. They got Mavis up in P5. They got Remos, who's consistently in the points as well. So yeah, I'm gonna say Alpine P1 and Aston Martin P2. P3 is anyone's game really.
Yeah, I think so. Because well, we've seen it 100 million times already. Well, even though it's been one round, I already feel like it's been 100 times that we've seen that happen before. So I'm excited for this Grand Prix, even though it's a lot bigger of a wider of a track than Baku was. I'm actually quite excited because we've got a full car lineup and plenty of action to come.
It's probably better to have this now. You know, we had the chaos from Baku, right? We now gotta like turn it down from 11 to 10.9 in terms of craziness.
Yeah, I think so. But that's actually good because that's actually going to help Toro and it's going to help Kevin as well to bring themselves back up to the top of the championship, you know. And Kevin's still securing pole position there in the front row of the grid with 115.8 and Toro 116.0. So he's actually got a tiny bit to catch up on, but that's whether he can do it or not. But Kevin, we know it would actually, if he did, I found this out earlier, that if he did get pole position here, it would be his 7th consecutive pole position. So
That sums Kevin up, doesn't it?
it does completely.
That's not a good. It's like the record Charles Leclerc has most poles, or the worst pole to win ratio.
It's crazy, isn't it? The fact he's 7 times is something, and that proves his pace as a driver. But it's the race pace. He does actually have really good race pace as well. But I think it's just getting the lucky and the unlucky moments that it's just not working well for him, sadly. But you know,
he needs to like calm it down in the race a bit. You know, make sure okay, my tires are actually wearing. I can't go flat out through there. But also just these things like speeding on the virtual safety car or just hitting your wings on a lap car or something. Those things sure you might lose a 10th that corner, but you're gonna save a whole pit stop.
Oh, 100%. And look at that. By the time we've all been speaking and having our Wi-Fi problems, aka me, the qualifying session is done. And look at that. So Toro is out on the lap at the moment. Nilu's coming up to the end of the lap. Where is he going to place himself? Obviously, he was third position in Baku, but he still stays third.
Toro's improving by more than a tenth.
Toro is improving. Here he comes now up to the line. Where is this going to bring him? Pole position. Here he comes across the line.
No,
and it's not going to be enough. 1:15.886.
What can Rajic do?
Look at that.
What can Rajic do? Across the line, it's only...
Oh, and look at that! That is a 2-3 there for Alpine, and obviously that's going to help each other. But Toro is hungry for a win as well. So whether he's going to play the team strategy game, well, we'll find out.
He needs to go for a win if he wants this championship. I mean, being a team player is important. Yeah, you're not going to force your teammate out wide, but it's race 2, right? There's no point helping anyone for the championship, right? But look at that. Our top 4 is separated by 2 tenths, and it's even closer between the front row guys, Kevin and Toro. P1 and P2. Toro will have that inside line going to turn 1. But like we mentioned, very tricky to get the move down just because how the turn is shaped, right? You gotta really park it on the apex while the guy on the outside just uses more momentum, gets around. But here we go then. The end of qualifying. Kevin, P1, he's got Toro alongside him on the front row. In row 2 is Rajic and Nilu, and running at the top 5 we have Mavers and Aston Martin.
And that was a very good top 5 there. Continued down, we believe, I didn't see who was 6th, but 7th is Remus there. 6th was Baby Bus. There we go. 6th is Baby Bus, and he's apparently from Jamaica, Remus. 8th will go to Vasta, and 9th to Opel Corsa. Here we go. That's the man we need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's the man. Aren't they called Vauxhalls in the UK?
Vauxhalls, yeah, Vauxhall Corsas. So that's why I'm supporting him today, because he is the UK boy. But there obviously are UK drivers on the grid. I believe so.
There are.
There might be. There are. So
this might be the only league where there aren't any that I know. I'm trying to think, right? Well, get yourself on the grid. Get yourself.
I'm going to chuck myself. I promise I won't be at the front, but I'll be there. Let's just say that. Maybe in the gravel, but well,
it's fine. We'll do Monaco. There's no gravel there.
Ah, perfect. There we go. Well, I'll join in for Monaco then. That'll be something else. But
we're just moments away.
Look at that.
From lights out. Make sure you put your predictions in the chat as well. Then. Make sure to like. I'm gonna like the stream right now, and there we go. Boom, 5 likes. I was the 5th like. So of you can go to hell. Here we go then. I hear the buzzer. You hear the buzzer, and we're just waiting to see those 20 cars lined up on the grid in Portugal. Then we have Kevin on pole position, and Toro is alongside him. Here they are. Then it is 3, 4, 5 lights are on for the Portuguese Grand Prix, and it's round 2 of VDRL, and it's lights out. And away we go, even start at the front. Then look at the start. Toro in the second phase gets alongside Kevin. Can he get the move into turn 1? No. Kevin sweeps around the outside. The Alpine of Rajic as well, holding P3, while Nilo and Aston Martin of Mavers finding out both of them on softs. Then Nilo sends it on Rajic. Then Rajic, what's happened to Rajic? Rajic is still on P3. There's already a virtual safety car then, as someone was sent spinning. And yeah, it was 2 by 2 then. The 2 leaders managed to keep it clean while Needle and Logic were fighting away.
An awesome start there, but obviously Kevin just managed to stay in front. But Toro, you can see he's hungry because he went for that inside line. But you know, he's not going to go for anything crazy, because once you tap that rear, you've gone round. And we've actually just seen examples of that further back with the RB there, contacting, I think, with the Haas. But that's the virtual safety car reason. And we should be getting going soon. But there we go, racing
that's
back underway now,
virtual safety car.
which is very short. But look at that, Toro sets after Kevin, and Kevin's going to have to defend now. But keep an eye on Rajic, who's under pressure there from Nilu. Nilu in 3rd place in, well, he's also had, we didn't have a very good race last time, did he? So he's all over the back, and look at Mavers joining into the fight as well. And here we go, 2-shot strategy. As Myro was saying, it is probably going to be the right way around. But here he comes. Mavers is just trying to catch up to Nilu, but Nilu, it's actually just being under pressure on Rajic. So whether he's going to make a move soon or not, but look at that, Rajic's catching him.
Nilu is on the softs, and so is Mavers as well. The top 3 are on medium, so this could get interesting. Torona gaining, he decides to stay behind for now. Then Rajic gets so close to the rear of his teammate, then all of them, and it is so easy to get a warning on the exit of turn 1 there. Look how close Toro is to Kevin. I would not be surprised if we see the move here. Neil has already made a mistake. He's gone deep or wide or something, but he's lost the leaders. and Baby Bus and Mavers got past him, but he's still in the lead DRS train then, but he's lost positions. And at a track around this where, you know, it's not impossible to overtake, but there's a lot of flowy corners and not a lot of heavy braking zones. It's going to be tough to fight his way through. So when are we assuming the soft guy will hit? I would say lap 10 to 12, and the guys on mediums, probably lap 16. Then this could be a soft hard, soft medium, or a medium hard, medium soft. Then it really depends on how these guys are taking care of these tires.
100%. And Myro, I saw some cars. Obviously, you're down in pit lane at the moment, and I saw some cars came out then. Well, entering the pit lane. What were they going on to? The compound tires they were moving on to?
Yeah, it was a bit scary in pit lane. Almost, I think 4 people were speeding in pit lane, so 4 10-second penalties already. But 3 of the 4 people who pitted gone onto the hards, which means it's probably their only pit stop for this race, and they're not gonna go to the pit stop again. But when
Mavers has sent on Rajek, so just to cut in there, Myro, that's the Martin trying to get past the Alpine into turn 3. That's a bold move to make. He's used a lot of battery and it's not going to work out. So he's going for it again then into T5. That's a proper set from Mavers. He's not making any friends around it. Shows Rajek the outside of the track. Look at Baby Bus trying to get involved now as well. On the outside of turn 7, you don't see overtakes there at all then, but Mavers manages to use his elbows and get past the reigning champion. Back to Marlo in the pits.
Mavers moves himself back in, well, back up actually into P3 there, and that is Baby Bus being attacked there by Nilu. So the weird name Baby Bus is under attack from Nilu. Nilu actually has dropped back a bit, remember, with Nilu trying to defend off Mavers. So Mavers has obviously swept through and easily made it through. But also remember Toro into that first one when Myro was talking. Toro was all over and he was looking for that move, but he's not doing that move down the back straight. And look at the DRX train is about to start again. Here comes Nilu on Baby Bus. He's going to look to the inside. Is probably going to go for an outside move. No, he's going to go for an inside into the first turn. Is he going to stick to it? Yes, he is. No, only just literally from a fraction there, just stays back and he just misses him. But look at the lockups, and that is Toro all over the back of Kevin. And Kevin is just going to have to defend as much as he can before. I mean, he's kind of hoping for a safety car, isn't he?
Yeah, well, a safety car just to bring those tire temps down. I'd imagine the soft tire runners are feeling the tire temps a bit more than the sun is not out then. So, you know, a safety car would be nice just to charge up the battery and stop that DRS on Toro. But it is a bit of a DRS train all the way down to Ramos in P7. And Ramos on the medium, so he's doing very well to keep up with these guys just because they're fighting so hard. But that battle between Nilu and Baby Bus was a great example of how the outside line can just sweep around with more momentum then. So try and position yourself on the outside. If you can't do that, try and compromise the line for the guy you're trying to overtake then. So you can then either get the move in T3, like Mavers tried it, or into turn 5 then, where Mavers tried it and got it done then. But he's currently struggling to stay within 1 second of the top 2 than Kevin and Toro. Chilling, 4/10 separate them a bit more. But once again, Toro with the DRS, he's going to close right back up then. Further back, will Neely try for it again? I think he needs to charge his battery for 1 lap as Ramos gets the fastest lap then. It is looking rather grey though, but we are not getting any rain, we have heard from the driver. So tell you what, this could help the tires last longer, these lower temperatures. So we might even see a one-stop soft to hards, maybe soft medium, and then obviously either medium hards, which is probably the standard, or medium soft.
Yeah, 100%. And look at that. That's a big train following all just for P1. And that's a Ferrari trying to join in there of Vasta. It's going from P1 to P7. And Toro, well, it actually looks like Kevin is getting the faster lines out of Sector 3. So Toro is actually doing well to keep up with him. And then that Sector 3 is where Kevin pulls away, which then affects Toro catching up on that DRS bit. He just never gets enough. And I don't know how his ERS is doing. He's obviously recharging. And he's waiting for that moment just to come. And so is Nilu. I mean, as I've said 100 times in each race that I've commentated for, it's the waiting game. It's a waiting game that always works. And Nilu, remember from the last run, he got kicked out, spun round. The waiting game he did, and he got straight back up into P3. So it's really exciting where really what's going to happen later in the race. And we're only lap 5 and action is still here. But look at this. Toro's got the DRS this time. Is he going to try and make the move down into someone? Look at all of them. That's a whole DRS train. And Baby Bus there. not looking for anything. It's side by side there.
Yeah,
And that was tragic.
on the
And maybe
outside
that's
of
just
turn
holding
one.
that.
Rajic on
something
the
else
outside
there.
of turn one, so it seems like the softs already starting to wear them. But tell you what, if these guys are so close, one undercut forces everyone else to pit the next lap then. So you could say, even someone like, okay, maybe not, if Vestas would be a bit closer, he could force everyone on softs to pit, because the undercut is just so powerful around here. Even if you don't have DRS, right, running in clean air through, especially this section on fresh tires, is worth so much lap time then. So yeah, one undercut, even if one guy spins, if Kevin spins in front of Toro's nose, Toro and Rajic are going to go straight into them. So they are putting a lot of trust into each other as well then. And I'm sure someone who can lap the, oh god, now I need to pronounce this track name, Portimao Algo, something like that, right?
Yeah, that was
Well, I'll call it Portimao, yeah. Portimao in 1 minute 15.8 seconds should be able to get this or keep the car pointing that straight line. Knock on wood, because last time I said that he didn't really do that. But Toro still right behind him. Then you can see the gaps around 2 to 5 tenths there for everyone. The closest battle is then Nilu and Baby Bus. Nilu has charged up his battery back up to 84% though. As look at the smoke screen coming into turn 3. You cannot see the apex at all. Nilu then from right to left, he's now trying it. Now he goes with the battery. He looks to the inside of turn 5. Mavis did to Rajic then. He's got the apex. They're still side by side on exit. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. I'm not really too sure what happened there. I think Nilu oversteered into Baby Bus on exit. And now they've got to make sure not to lose DRS.
And yeah, contact there with Baby Bus. But Baby Bus, you can see, is actually under a lot of pressure as he's forced. Well, actually, Neely's forcing him into a lot of errors. But look at this, Toro locking up. You can tell he's all over the curb. And I was actually watching his line into turn 1. And he was all over the curb. Actually, no, sorry, not turn 1, the penultimate corner. And he was literally just riding that curve. So his tyres are probably getting affected quite a lot. And you actually see probably around here, watch the line from Kevin and then Toro as well. Or actually properly ride the curve on the inside. No, he hasn't done it this lap. Okay, so last lap it might have just been a mistake, but here we come. DRS train is coming once again, and it looks like Kevin is enough ahead. And watch, Toro's not going to go for the move because it's too dangerous through here. Or is he? No, he's not. He's going to have to stay back. And the two teammates are just going to work together, aren't they? Just going to try and do a slingshot maneuver and wait for that to look at the lockups. The lockups are crazy then. That is
That front right must be crying.
100%, because I mean that is when you'll see the pit stops coming in soon actually. And Nilu has actually dropped back from Baby Bus. So what happened there? Not too sure, but that would look like the move from Toro around the outside of that hairpin. But I think he backed out. Yeah.
I think Toro just wants to use Kevin's DRS, save fuel, save the tires, wait for mistakes like that where Kevin goes wide. Because I'm noticing at the end of each DRS race, Toro just goes into none. It doesn't seem like he wants to overtake quite yet. Maybe just before the pit stops, or maybe he's planning to just follow Kevin until lap 32 onto lap 33 and then make the move. It is a bit of a risky one, but I'm sure he's got this all figured out. Toro is probably one of the drivers who's like got the strategy down perfect, and it like his race craft, racing against other cars, not racing against walls. He's probably got that down the best. So I'm sure what he's doing has some sort of philosophical, that's a big word, philosophical meaning to it. I got there eventually. But right now, yeah, once again, you see he goes into medium at the end of the straight then. So does his teammates. So I don't know why he's doing that. They could probably easily bridge 1 second to Mavers then, as he's already starting to lose grip. Someone who is losing DRS and has lost DRS is Baby Bus then, as Nilu struggling for grip. So those softs have really gone off the cliff now.
But only lap 9 and the grips are almost starting to go now. The soft compound tyres are about to come, and Mario, they're about to head away, I believe, as well. But Baby Bus is obviously out of the DRS now, and that fight is still going on. But look at that, Toro is all over the back of him. So that's, I believe, they're Sector 2 now. So just the entry of Sector 2, it's just where Toro manages to keep up. But on the start finish straight, Toro is not trying to go for a move as well, because he keeps sticking down to 7. But to slow the car up enough that, you know, and one stupid move can affect his whole race, and that is the one thing they don't want. And obviously they're trying to keep the constructor chance alive as well. So whether Toro's working with the team and also trying to race for themselves, if that makes sense at the same time, trying to get ahead in the championship, but we've got a hungry Kevin and we've got a hungry Toro. I mean, we couldn't have asked for more. And look at that, Baby Bus into the pit lane. So, down tomorrow, what compound tire is that going into? Because he dives in now.
It was a dangerous move, hopefully not a penalty for him, but I'm not sure what tire is going on. Probably, I think, the mediums, because with 23 laps, yeah, I'm bad at counting, 23 laps left, he maybe can do it, 10 laps, 23 laps left, maybe the hard to be ultra safe, the long waiting game, but he can also go for the 2 pit stop strategy, and then he needs to go on the mediums right now and then on the softs on like the last 8 laps.
Thank you very much, Myra, down the pit lane there. So, yeah, obviously we're going to see cars to start to box anytime soon now. Whether it's going to be Kevin and Toro, look at that Toro almost getting into the back of him there. That was too close for comfort, and he needs to be careful now because it's getting serious, and I believe he actually might be pitting this lap surely. Well, was Baby Boss on the... Oh, he was on the soft comfort tyres, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Toro
runner should be coming in now.
Yeah,
It makes sense
to be Mayburst.
Baby Bus hard. I think if you can go 10 laps on softs, surely you can do 20 on mediums, right? Especially on lower fuel.
Yeah.
I mean, Mavers has lost DRS to the top 3, right? He's 1.8 seconds behind now. But if you just hold it out till lap 13 on to 14, I reckon you can go mediums to the end.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll see what the medium compounds can do, but Kevin under pressure is not going to help his tyres at all. And I'd imagine they're overheating like mad at the moment, but he's obviously under a lot of pressure by 2 charging Alpine cars. And was that a... Oh, there we go. 3-second time penalty already comes into effect.
Let's look at penalties for a second.
Toro. That is... Yeah, so look at that. So there's 10 seconds and they were all feeding into the pit lane. So that is not what they want. But Toro is really sitting on the back of him now.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Kevin just pushing a bit too much out ahead then, while Toro was saving his battery behind. Toro, he's been on 80% for a while now. I saw Kevin down in the 30s and 40s. So that might also be Toro's plan, just wearing Kevin down, right? He might be quicker, but if I just stay in his DRS and force him to pit those 2 laps earlier or something like that before the optimal window, I'm gonna have better pace come lap 30, 31, 32 until then. And Batragic is also getting good runs and he's also there, so you can't really forget about anyone. As Mavers into the pit lane now. Myro, how's it looking down there? What tires is Aston Martin going on to?
Very good here. He will lose a lot of time for sure, and probably like 2 or 3 places, depends how slow he is, but he's going on the mediums, and like you said before, he's probably gonna do a 1 stop. So now with 21 laps left, he's probably going to go slow and save the tires.
Well, while you were talking
that was crazy, wasn't it?
What happened there?
Yeah, they were both watching that there. That was crazy. They literally went into the back of him there, and Toro had done the move. Toro had done the move to bring him to the lead, but that contact involving Kevin, Toro, and Rajic actually increased Toro to go into the lead a bit more. So Kevin's not going to be happy. He's been put in a sandwich, hasn't he, Elliot?
He is in a French sandwich, which is probably the worst sandwich to be in. But what Kevin needs to do now is cool his tires down, charge up the battery. It's too early to pit. Don't pit now, because otherwise the 2 Alpines will just DRS swap. So he's very much in Max Verstappen's position now, where it's essentially a 2v1 at the fight at the front. So he just needs to sit in medium on the straights, then use. Here's a problem though. He's got a Rajic behind him, just like basically telling him, "Don't go too slow, or I will overtake you." So he needs to balance that between charging ERS and not being overtaken, because being in P3 with 2 Alpines in front of you is not the best, and it's also not great being in P2 because it means Rajic can undercut him just like that.
It's crazy, look, and Kevin is actually catching up from there from the hairpin, and that was because of the DRS and Toro lacking it, but Toro's just trying to pull away because he knows this is his fastest section before Kevin can catch up. But you saw Rajic was looking all over him. Look at that, he was literally just sniffing his rear there because he's all over the back of him and he's hungry. for that secondary opinion, and that's what Alpine won, isn't it? A 1-2. Our reigning champion here is all over the back of Kevin, who is wanting that champion. I mean, look at that. That's something you want as well. But he's going to wait till the DRS straight, because that's when it's all going to kick off. But it looks like Kevin's close enough to even make a move on Toro. And it looks like Toro goes a bit wide, actually, into that corner. But going to choose to stay ahead. But here he comes now onto the DRS straight. Is it going to be enough for Kevin to stay ahead? It doesn't look it at the moment, but here he comes with the DRS. Is he going to get enough just to come across? Remember, Rajic's in behind. He's using the DRS. He's using the DRS. Is it going to be enough to dive down the inside? No, it's not. And it looks like Kevin's going to stay behind. Almost contact there into turn one. Almost Rajic going into the back of him, which is interesting. But he's just staying behind. But the hairpin's the biggest one. But look at that Toro deep. Once again, this is not working well. That's his tyres. Either losing it or he's going, because now Kevin has got an opportunity to get a run on him. Is it going to be enough to dive down the inside? No, it's not. And luckily, Toro stays ahead.
Oh, well, these guys are practically glued together then, front wing to rear wing, bumper to bumper, using NASCAR terms there. But it is so tight between them. Lap 14 out of 33, we're about to enter the halfway point then. And I'm assuming they're going to go until lap 20, and then onto the softs. Myro, how's it looking in the pit lane? These engineers, they must be running all of the numbers to figure out what the best strategy is.
Yeah, it's hard, but most people will go on the soft and then mediums, or yeah, just the opposite. Just like just a moment ago, Nelusafu, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, I can't pronounce it, just gone into the pits and gone again on the mediums after 13 laps on the soft tires. He is now not in the DRS range anymore, so he will lose a lot of time, but he has fresh tires.
And here we go now into turn one, and it looks like Kevin takes the lead of the race. The Alpine's battling side by side. Rajic stays ahead. Toro drops down too. That's not what he wanted, and Kevin regains the lead of the race. But here comes Rajic. He's got the DRS. Kevin doesn't, I don't believe, and Toro's not going to be happy by being done by not one but two drivers. So Rajic is going to stay all over the back of Kevin. But look at that, back markers. We're already approaching back markers. We're lap 15.
They must have no pit yet, but why is it that whenever we go to Myro, something happens at the front? We should just ask him every time. But look at this, Mavericks and Nilu stuck behind a lap car. And I just want to say, Nilu, the overcut has worked for him. Look at the gap from him to Baby Bus, 3.5 seconds. So the Hearts must have all full tire warm-up. And now Mavericks gets past the Williams. Nilu needs to follow through immediately, because Mike TW is going to be holding him up so much through this middle section. He needs to find a way past. You can tell he's bumping him uphill. That's just the grip difference he has. Now he's using the battery. I would not be surprised if we see a dive into the right-hander then, or is he waiting till the main straight? He has a little look. He's staying behind. This is costing him so much time. Look at that, already a second to Mavericks out in front. Back to the leaders then. Rajic charging up that battery. So it seems like these guys are pushing for 2 laps, then charging their battery for 5 or 6. That's what Toro needs to do. He was down in 20%. Pretty sure that's how they overtook them. And once again, sniffing the gearbox of the Williams.
It's getting so much exciting now. Look at Nilu's going for the inside line. He's waiting for that move, and he's now completed it. He's got the DRS to back him as well. I don't believe Mick TW does either. But let's have a look at Rajic and Toro, because I believe they're heading into the hairpin as well. No, they completed it. So Kevin managed just to stay ahead. Our front three, the biggest title, the biggest contenders here, are all battling. And the big three, the top three, isn't it? And it is very interesting what they're going to do. We're coming up near to the end of the lap again, and we're really only 4 laps away from pitting on the medium compound tyres. And it's going to be interesting. But look at that, yeah, Kevin's going to have DRS. But Rajic, it seems to be working well with DRS exiting out the last corner. So whether that's going to work well for him, well, Kevin is going to be praising. And look at that, squirm from the rear there from Kevin. He's really losing grip now, isn't he? But here he comes out. It's not going to be a dive for the pit lane, is it? No, it's not. So here he comes onto the start finish straight. Is it going to be enough for Rajic? Toro's already dropped back.
Kevin does not have DRS.
Rajic, he doesn't have DRS. Rajic down the inside. Rajic takes the lead of the race. And here we go. We're once again. It's going to be Alpine to Red Bull to Alpine once again. And it's going to be interesting. Toro runs wide. Rima's 4th there. And here comes Toro. Kevin is attacking Rajic there, but Rajic seems to be getting a better exit, and you can tell that Kevin's tyres are going, because he was really squaring out that last corner. and Rajic doesn't even need DRS to even get away from him. So this is going to increase for Toro actually to race up through.
Yep, Nilu getting past Mavers now. These guys, they are trying, they're essentially trying the long undercut on the leaders. How long is a pit stop around here then? The pit exit is a very interesting one because you come out on the apex and you lose so much time there. You gotta make sure no one rams up your ass behind you. You gotta make sure that you're clean and that if there is someone there, they gotta stick to the outside line then. Toro then, he's been chilling behind there, but once again, look at this now. This might be perfect timing for Rajic then to get DRS. Kevin must have been just a bit more than a second off then at the DRS detection point. Where's the DRS detection point? Here it is, and I can tell you with confidence Rajic is going to have DRS, which pretty much eliminates any chance of him pitting.
And there we go, that is what Rajic wants, and he's got the DRS, but he's got Kevin with the ERS and DRS, and you can see Kevin is dropping down the gears as well, so he's not trying to rush up anytime soon. He's just going to recharge and wait.
Kevin goes a bit wide then, and the lap car's not really getting out the way then, once again giving Rajic DRS then. This is one of the McLarens, I'm assuming it's Casper, it is Casper then, as his teammate Guido lets the first Alpine by. This is very annoying. I've been part of this where Guido's still out in front. It's now Toro. He's trying to go through. I sit in qualifying. I don't want cars going through each other. That's exactly what's happening here, right? They might be ghosted. Guido snap over oversteer. All of them go through, but tell you what, Casper's fighting it like he's one of the three. Like it's a four-way fight for the lead.
I was going to say, the McLaren's doing very well to hold off Toro there, but Toro just does the inside. No, he doesn't. Casper's still fighting. Look at this. So this is going to distract Toro as well. Because
100%.
It's going to have a moving thing through, so it's going to distract him. But look at that. Kevin, in that meantime, has gone right up the backside of Rajic. So, the DRS is coming up. Rajic is not going to have it. But, remember, Kevin does. So, is it going to be two overtake this time? It's going to be interesting whether that's going to happen or not. Here comes the DRS. Kevin gets the DRS, got the slipstream, uses the DRS as well, down the inside, he's done that move. Is it going to happen for Toro? Toro going to make the move? No, he's not. Okay, so Toro's going to wait behind. But remember, Kevin is not going to have it as well. So those two, well, they're on the verge of pitting as well, aren't they? All of them are pitching. But
the next
who's going to have to stay out? Yeah, I don't want to say the next
we do have two Alpines, so obviously Toro wants to get ahead of his teammate, so he's got priority here. Or he might have to jump the gun, pit a lap early, and he would come out around, I want to say around where Nilu.
Yeah, so obviously they would be discussing with each other now at the moment, hopefully. I imagine they are, they're usually on comms together, so I would imagine they are just chatting to each other, they're trying to figure out a plan, maybe try and keep that slingshot in for effect there. But it's going to be interesting who's going to go first, and Kevin, obviously his teammate is out within the first or second lap, I think it was something like that. But Rajic is all over the back, and so is Toro. And look at that snap on the front there from Rajic, and he's under pressure a bit from his teammate. And that's really not what he wants, because then that's going to increase Kevin to rush off ahead. But is it time for the pit lane dive? Yes, it is. And over to you, Myro.
Yes, of course. A lot of people pitted, and I'm happy to finally see a pit stop because engineers were falling asleep. But now, Alpines in front with each other, with the DRS train, and of course Kevin goes on the softs.
More time going, Kevin.
That is interesting. So Kevin onto the soccer belt tires, and we
want
knew
to see this pit exit. I want to see this pit exit, right? Because you've got Nilu and Mavis then, a 5-lap undercut, and I think it's worked now. Kevin, he's at an awkward point, then Mavis switch back left, and that is the tire warm back, and just that very awkward pit exit. Kevin, you don't want to lose too much time fighting him. He's not going to have DRS. Yes, Mavis will have DRS, so maybe Kevin should have just stuck behind and let him go. But Mavis, tell you what, Kevin, just let him go. Charge up your battery behind him. His pace isn't that bad, despite being on the mediums. Kevin is fighting it hard, and now he's gone up front. Now it is mission. Get within a second of Nilu, and then pray that the two Alpines are not DRS sharing enough. But we were expecting the soft tires then, lap 20 about, and he's done just that then. But was that the smartest choice, fighting Mavis that hard then? Are any of the Alpines coming in then? It seems like both of them staying. I think they're just going to DRS swap now. This is exactly the problem when you've got a 2v1. Look at that, easy as you like, boom. Now Toro pushes this lap while Rajic charges up his battery.
Going back to that fight with Mayverse and Kevin, Kevin would be smashing that steering wheel because he's not happy. He's in a fight with Mayverse especially, but he knows he's got the faster pace, and obviously Mayverse was not having any of it either. But is Mayverse trying to fight back this time? Well, look at these two, the Alpines. Who is going to go in first? Toro's taken the lead of the race, but is he going to be going into the pit lane first? I believe he will put this lap, and that leaves Rajic as a vital man to try and get that in lap, that other in lap actually, just to actually ace it. But Kevin is catching slowly, very, very slowly. So did the undercut work, and should they have pitted on lap 20?
It's a tough one to call, of course, being... I think they do have they will have fresher tires come end of the race. Question is, how much fresher, and is it worth it losing that lap time now? Because one of them will at least go to lap 22 as of right now, if one of them pits right. Toro, you can see his rear tires are really struggling now. Surely he'll be coming in, he'll be holding tight right then. Now Rajic will keep the DRS then. Myro, down to you. Surely it's the soft tires for the Alpine.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't another one. Maybe for an accident, to be honest. It's always possible in this game. Now Rajic alone without DRS. It's maybe not the smartest move, but the double stack is also not good for pit stop. So hopefully Toro can get fast enough out of the pits.
Where is
as we
Kevin?
say that,
Kevin gets past Nilu. Kevin's ahead of the Alpine then by trying to... Where's Mayverse? Can Mayverse... Tell you what, Mayverse might be able to pull off the same move on Rajic that he did on Kevin, because he's going to have one more lap of undercut. He will have the DRS from Toro as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Toro, he's about 3 seconds of Kevin, but there is a RB in the way. So there is a bit of a mobile chicane to get past, and surely Rajic will be pitting this lap.
well, surely that is the case. And, well, with Toro in behind, actually, and he's got Nido in front of him. So it's another person who's going to stay in front. And Mayverse is actually just doing this, he's watching. Because he's waiting for something to happen in order for him to come up. But sadly, his medium tyres, he's been in them too long. Look at that, that's 10 lap old compared to a 0 lap old baby softs there. So it's going to be obviously an absolute runaway with Toro. And Rajic is pitted. And looks like, well, down to tomorrow, is it going to be enough for Kevin to secure a tough lead?
I think not yet. If I'm not wrong, you lose like 16 seconds in the pit lane, but Kevin is now too much behind. Too much behind Rajic. Indeed, right now he's 10 seconds behind.
Let's go,
but
Mayverse.
no,
Mayverse.
the board was wrong. So Kevin takes the lead,
good.
and
Can Toro get in front of him? The two Alpines fighting now. Toro sneaks through on the inside, doing what Mayverse did to Kevin, but unlike what Kevin, who held it round the outside, now the two Alpines, do they try and get up to Nilu? Because Toro lost time, lost a bit of time over that fight. They've got 10 seconds to close up, almost 4 seconds then. Oh, it's such a tricky one to call.
Rajic on those compound, he was getting actually quite comfortable with them, even within the outlap, where he was actually late braking there on Toro, and I thought he was going to go into the back of him, because I didn't think they were up to standard, but obviously they must have been left in the pit lane pretty warm, and stuck on the car straight away, and the pit stop was pretty quick as well, so he's actually getting very comfortable on the brakes, and I can see Rajic making a move, and possibly on the hunt down for Kevin, but remember, Kevin's got the older tyres, but Nilu is in the way between those two.
Yeah.
So Nilu could be there to actually slow Kevin down and allow both these Alpines to come up.
Well, he's 2.3 seconds behind Kevin, so I don't know how he's meant to hold them up now.
It's going to be interesting, but here he comes now, the DRS. And the DRS train is back again, ladies and gentlemen. Rajic goes through, and we're
Welcome
once
back.
Yeah, welcome back, DRS train. And there we go. So Rajic takes the lead of that duo, and he is on the hunt now for Nilu. Nilu is actually locking up, and he has got 10 lap old medium, so these Alpines should be seriously catching up. But it's looking like Kevin is just running away slowly.
Yeah, and of course, between the two Alpines, if we're looking at the fight between the two, hold up, there's a Ferrari ahead of Kevin, weaving like there's no tomorrow. This is Franave, who's let him by in then, so... And he's off in the gravel, he's taking a beach vacation. in Portugal.
Lovely drift there. Obviously out there for the fun and shaking that car like there's no tomorrow. Enjoying every moment of this race. Seems like we had Franner in the last race and he did all right actually. So either he's just
It's a very tricky track. Then back to the Alpines though. What's crucial for Toro is getting ahead of Rajic before Rajic catches up to Kevin. Because being in P2, it's a whole lot easier to go for the lead than when you're in P3 then, because you've only got one car to overtake. I don't know how much explanation I need there. Surely, Rajic now, he's going to be using the battery, he's got DRS and he's got slipstream off of the RB, then can he get past? His red light is flashing, but the DRS and slipstream just so powerful where he can get back to the racing line. Nilu now struggling, where is Toro? We look behind him, surely Toro up the inside now, where's that front wing? There is the Alpine then who's sent up the inside, and crucially he gets DRS and that should be done, and now we've got that order that we had at the front, but there is a 3-second gap between P1 and P2.
So both the Alpines on the easier soft compound tyres, and the good thing is, the good thing for Kevin is there's lots of back markers, so DRS might not be a problem for him actually, because he can actually get away. But
he's already cleared the back markers.
He's already cleared. He's already cleared.
He's that far ahead.
He's that far ahead. That is crazy.
And a Mercedes coming up though.
New softs. New softs versus old softs. So what's that going to be like? Well, we'll find out. Actually, let's go down to our tyre specialist. Actually, Myro, the old softs. Is it going to be enough for Kevin to hold the lead, or will these two Alpines actually sprint up and catch him?
I don't think that's gonna make the difference. But what's gonna make the difference, I believe, is gonna be that both Alpines and also the RB are having a DRS train. So they're gonna be so fast and gonna be so much faster even than Kevin, and then just sprint to him and overtake him.
Yeah, 100%. And look at that. So Toro actually had a massive gap from Rajic on that line, but Rajic I don't think secured DRS for that one. But you know, they're still on the hunt, and the time it looks like it's not even going down that much, is it, Yellow?
It's not, and this is what I was saying, right? Sure, you might gain a bit with the fresh tires, but you would gain more with an undercut or just pitting. So I feel like Alpine might have lost this on strategy than just pitting a bit too early, maybe underestimating how far the softs go. I mean, sure, Kevin's softs can die out, you know, there's still, 7 or 8 laps left or so, but Kevin is now right up the ass of him, said, oh, Toro, and tell you what, a certain someone will be rubbing his hands together, and that certain someone is Nilu, who's currently 9th behind. Kevin has managed to clear the 2 back markers, but he won't have DRS from them, and he's lost a bit of time, half a second or so, and oh my god, they might re-overtake him. That would be the absolute nightmare for Kevin. You can see them fighting.
Look at that. The McLaren and also the Mercedes both battling into turn 1. McLaren still side by side. Who's going to stay ahead of that one? I believe that was Reverses there and Casper, but Casper is still on the inside line for that fight. Who's going to be out ahead on that one? They're still side by side coming up the hill, and it looks like Reverses and the Mercedes just stays ahead. But remember, Casper's got the DRS this time onto that back straight. And let's talk about the Alpines as well, because they're also still fighting. No, they're not. We're just showing a better view, and it looks like Casper forces Reverses out wide. Here comes the back markers, though, getting affected by Rajic. Rajic goes through, and Casper stays ahead, which actually promotes him into P14 there. That's another little fight going on whilst we're in the middle of the big boys.
He was certainly fighting for the wooden spoon, but we appreciate any fight. But these guys, once again, not really abiding by the blue flags. Is Werner is turning that green Formula 1 car, or the F3 car masquerading as a Formula 1 car, into a lawnmower, which, you know, you gotta love their community service here at Portugal. You know, you gotta make sure that the grass is not too long, otherwise that might affect the wind direction, and, you know, someone might lock up the tires and go straight into the wall. There's a fun fact for everyone.
We do love that kind of, don't we? I mean, we've seen Valtteri Bottas do it as well. You know, he was in that stake as well. So, you know, it's very kind from all of them. But look at this. Back onto the topic of racing. Here comes Toro and Rajic. Toro's just getting closer. Is that Kevin in front? I don't think it is. It is. And so look at that. They are getting closer.
Kevin in their sights. They have Kevin in their sights, and he's getting bigger and bigger. Before he was just a tiny pixel. Now he's multiple tiny pixels.
And that is when it's getting interesting, because they have seen him, and he's not far away, is he? So he's actually on the fight, and they've definitely both seen him. They're both saying, right, come on, let's stop fighting, let's work together. Let's just work together with DRS. It doesn't matter too much, but let's just not battle it out. We want to catch this. We want this one too. So obviously the team principal as well will be chatting to them as well, but their main focus will be on just catching Kevin. And look at that, Toro is all over the back of him. So you can see he's not going to leave him alone. And Toro, sadly, with that 3 second tyre penalty, may not have the chance of winning this race, but anything can happen, as I say.
Yeah, and he's now managed to get that somewhat 3 second gap to Nilu. Before it was, I mean, a lap ago was a second, so should be safe from that. If we're just looking at other performances, the Opel Corsa up in P8, then might even be P7 after Ramos's penalty then. But yeah, great performance by the two Aston Martins. Now Toro gets past this. I don't know why he's doing that. He's got no battery. So, like, yes, you're P2 on track, mate. But your teammate's got 55% battery, which he can use to catch up to. I mean, if he's got that good pace on those tires with no battery, then fair play. But I don't think he should have just stuck behind for 2 more laps, charged up his battery, and then pushed like hell.
Yeah, I definitely think that should have been the case. But I mean, think about even though they're teammates, they still have rivalry between them, and whoever is ahead, they think that whoever's ahead is the better driver. So that's what they like to claim. But look at that, Casper and Reverses are back on the fight again, once again for people nothing him. Look at that, the bumper car's already forced out, and here comes Casper down the inside, but is he going to do enough to just keep that? I think he has. He's on the hard compound tyre to get the medium compound tyre. Look at that, that's something else. And that's a thing to discuss with Myra in a minute, actually, whether those hard compound tyres are working, but the undercut was there. He was looking, but it wasn't enough. And Reverses there is still just going to stay behind. But look at that lock up from Casper. He's going to look for the inside line. They're both ghosting out there. Not sure how.
Maybe someone's lapping. Yeah, someone's lapping them. Mavers
is lapping. There we go. So Mavers is catching up.
Also, Toro's lost 4 tenths to Kevin in the lap where he was ahead.
So that is not what he wants at all. But look at it, here comes the DRS now. He doesn't even need the DRS, does he? He's literally got him straight away, side by side now, into turn 1. And Casper stays ahead this time, but Reverses now is going to be hungry for that position. And Mayverse is also on that fight as well. Still side by side between those two, because Reverses is not giving up. And there we go, Mayverse is just diving down the inside.
Mayverse says today and shows them how to actually take that corner properly. Reverse, he gets a 3 second penalty. Right, yeah. Oh, a big old set from the Mercedes there. He was like, I'm ghosted, I got nothing. I think he's got front. Yeah. Is that front wing damage, front right on their Mercedes? Then it's very hard to tell when they're ghosted, so we might have to give it some time. And no, it's front left. Front left is gone. So that's going to be interesting. That might be from them banging wheels so much.
That is quite funny, these two.
It's from this corner here 1 lap ago. When he got that, when he tried to undercut, it must be from that.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty hefty contact.
Well, it was quite funny when he got the 3 second time penalty and still sent that crazy lunge. Look at that, he's literally twisting him across, and off goes Casper. He's not going to be happy. And those two having such a good fight, and Casper's not going to be happy. But actually, Mario, I wanted to come down and talk to you. Is that hard compound tyre actually quicker than the mediums on this track? Because it seems to be that, obviously, this is a P14 fight, but Casper's showing true pace against Reverses.
I'm not sure. The Hearts was a good idea for sure with the crashing in the beginning. It was a nice try, but it was risky and it didn't really pay off, to be honest. You can say it was evenly as the other strategy, the soft mediums.
Yeah, 100%. And look at this. The Alpines are both fighting together as well. They need to stop it, but Toro won't give up this position, will he, Yellow?
Absolutely not. I mean, maybe he thinks that 3 second can be removed. But, you know, 2 seconds to Kevin now. Kevin just needs to bring it home. Keeping it well, and I mean well within the white lines. And then my prediction of Kevin winning should come true once again. Knock on wood. I've jinxed that man too much in the past week. I want to issue a very, very informal apology in the word of sorry. Back to the racing now. Rajic then. Maybe Toro's told him to keep it fair, like, hey, my 3 second, it could get removed from being full stop then. There you see the tires, 12 laps, 9 laps, and 10 laps. So, and later on 18 and 19 from Neely and Mavis there. So yeah, and you can see Toro, he's struggling with the tires a lot now, struggling a lot more than Kevin. You can tell Rajic's quicker. Look at that, 1.8 seconds to Kevin. Maybe this is Kevin just taking it easy now, or Rajic is absolutely pushing. But yeah, he needs to get within a second now, and like well within a second to where he can make the move into turn 5.
Well, that's what I was actually going to point out earlier, that Kevin was, I remember when he was 2.5 ahead. Look at that gap now, 1.6. So could Rajic be on for the win? I mean, Myro, the pit, obviously the pit specialist here. Opal, no, what happened there? Was he go around? Or was that
No, he disconnected.
No, he disconnected to the man.
However, he should still get P8 if his AR finishes there, considering he completed 90% of the race.
That would be more entertaining, I think. Yeah, Myro, so these soft compound tyres, after a while, they die, but does it really affect the drivers much?
It is some with the hard corners, with the hard left, hard rights, you don't find grip easily, and when you're not trained on tires that are old, you easily snap the car, you easily spin, and then you lose time, like we see here a lot.
Yeah, 100%. And look at this, we've only won the last lap of the Grand Prix. I completely forgot about that. And yeah, let me point out, we've had no safety cars, have we?
I was thinking the same. Yeah, Stark, you tell you what, we've had across these two races, we've probably had an average of the amount of safety cars we would usually have in two races. So, you know, Baku was heavy on safety cars, Portugal was there to even things out, and, you know, next week we're at another street track, we're at Australia, so we might go back to the good old-fashioned ways of the yellow flags and going slow. However, that might also mean some interesting pit strategy, but we're focusing on lap 33 of 33 in Portugal, where Kevin, I mean, he's been in the league quite a bit. He swapped with the Alpines between lap, 16 and 19. He had a great pit stop timing. The has decided to go lawn mowing as well, a bit more community service than foot to the floor. For one final time for the Red Bull driver, and it is a redemption from Baku. Just don't crash like he did. Oh, and he's done it. True improvement from Kevin then. Across the line, he wins it, and it's going to be a Rajic P2, not Kevin P3, Toro P3. Nilu then 7 seconds back, P4, solid race from him. But does that mean that, I mean, if the top 8 are pretty much unchanged from the start, right? Only swap.
Yeah, basically. Congratulations to Kevin, the man who started in pole position, the man who wanted redemption as well, got his win finally, and that is going to bring him back up once again. But Rajic in second increases his lead into the championship, and it's going to be interesting. It's getting spicy. Heading into Australia, wow, that's going to be interesting. What these three can do. Will Kevin get the 8th consecutive pole position there? But remember, it's actually pretty difficult to overtake. And once you get rain in Australia, God, that little quick section, the chicane there, that is something.
That is just searching a full grip. You cannot get off the racing line there because you're aquaplaning, and then you're either going to meet barrier on the left, gravel trap on the left, and then barrier on the left, or barrier on the right.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one, that's for sure. But
not mine. A dry, wet, dry race. All I'm saying.
No, and that's a very interesting driver of the day there from Homer, and also his avatar there.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, it was very interesting, that one. But that was an interesting one. Actually, yeah, Johnny, sum that up in a sentence. I'm going to do your little thing. Sum that up in a sentence.
Yes. How do I put this? Contrast to Baku, comma, strategy wins, not chaos. Feeling a bit fancy today. Anyway.
I was going to say, that's very fancy.
You want my other one is, get your damn strategy right and you will succeed.
That was true. And look at that. Look at the amount of penalties. Speeding in pit lane. And Myro, going down to that, from the beginning, all those cars, were they miles over the speed limit, or were they, could you see they were diving?
It was crazy out there. They went like 20-30 kilometers per hour faster than the speed limit. I was scared for my life, even though I was in the commentary box above. Like,
well,
all those engineers, they need to be were scared.
Okay, I got 10 seconds to go through finishing order. Kevin wins with the fastest lap. Then it's Rajic P2. Running out the podium is Toro. P4 is Nilu. P5 is Mavericks. Baby Bus P6. Ramos P7. P8 is Vastes. P9 is Mick. Running out the top 10 is Hummel. And I've just realized I've been given 30 more seconds, so I can take it very relaxing. Will, would you like to take the rest?
Well, the rest
You've got
running
10
down
seconds
to
to go.
the top 20. Here we go. So 11th there was Fabrini in the Kicks Alba. Oh, we've got 7 seconds. Opel Corsa, my man, in 12th. 13th, SMY. 14th, Werner. 15th, Casper. 16th, Reverses. I'm going to look on the stream now because I'm just that guy. And 17th goes on to Lucas there. 18th into Guido. 19th, Frana. And 20th, Timo. So Red Bull not having the race they won, are they? I mean,
Tell you what,
I'm sorry they were, but
Timo needs to
yeah.
watch out. Timo needs to look over his shoulders because there might be some other drivers there. But anyway, it is time for someone's favorite part of the stream, looking at someone in the pit lane. It's time for the interview. So we're going to make our way over there and stand by, folks. We'll be with you in the interview room in just a moment. Welcome to the interviews, and since we had no safety car, I got to go through the good old sponsorship now. So please like the stream. I mean, we're an hour 11 minutes into it now. So like it, subscribe to us as well. Join the Discord if you want to get racing. I heard Kevin is taking applications for a new teammate. So join the Discord if you want to get racing. Don't get commentating. We've got too many commentators. Get stewarding, or if you just want to help out, admins or whatever, moderators. Yep, feel free. Follow our socials at VD Racing League or just VDRL on Insta and TikTok. But now it's time for P3 Toro. What a race. I mean, you were pretty much in a DRS train with the top 3 for a while. You got that 3 seconds in there. Do you think you could have gone P2 without it, or were you just lacking a bit of pace compared to Rajic and Kevin?
I mean, I think without the penalty, I would be still P3. My pace wasn't the best. Rajic was just faster than me. We fucked up. I mean, because of the fucking game and the track, that there's a pit lane. So we lost like 2 seconds because Rajic was going out of the pits.
Yeah.
And the pit lane is, let's say, dangerous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, we'll later come to Kevin. He had quite the experience on pit exit. We're gonna try and do one question per commentator now. So, Will, have you got anything for Toro?
Yeah, Toro, Skysports VD here.
You gotta say who you are.
This is Will from Skysports VD. I just wanted to ask, how did it feel? Bringing yourself back up. Obviously, you're here for redemption, aren't you? From that first round, the opening round.
You had to bring up Baku, didn't you?
Sorry.
Yeah, you had to bring up Baku, didn't you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Toro. I had to. But I mean, does it feel good to be on the podium again? And I mean, can you see yourself continuing this as well?
I mean, if I will have lag with me, I think I can be still on the podium. I mean, of course, I want to win at least once. But yeah, after last race, I think it's impossible. We will see.
Perfect. And I think that's over to Mara.
Hello, this is Myro from MyroGet, I think. You and your teammate, of course, Regic, went really, really fast at the end of the race. It was an interesting strategy, but it didn't quite end up well. What went wrong? Because it looked like you hadn't much grip at the end.
I mean, I think... Yeah, well, of course the tire wear, but I suck at just have good tire wear, because most of the time when on one stint like I am 20%, I have more tire wear than Rajic and Kevin. So yeah, I think just that pit lane, we lost 2 seconds. I think without it we could break, at least Rajic, I think could race for the win, because me not, because I had 3 seconds.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very
We're
much.
gonna go to second place, which is Regic.
Rajic, congratulations on P2. For a long while, you were sitting in P3, and you were just chilling. At the start, then you had Mavers rather aggressively setting it up the inside of you. Were you expecting him to go for a move? Was he impatient behind you? Of course, he was on the softs, but you stayed calm when you were behind him, got back past him. But do you think that you should have gone for the move on Toro and Kevin a bit earlier, just so you wouldn't have the guys on softs behind you?
No, I don't think so. I expected the softs going ahead of me, to be honest, as the initial grip is better than the mediums. But I didn't expect that suddenly dive bomb from Mavers. I mean, I stayed calm as you said, and I waited for the cliff down, I think it's called, of the tires, and then I passed him. And about the question of attacking Kevin and Toro, I think I did well waiting, chilling, and I think I try, at least at my best, I tried to save the tires all I could, trying to not steering the wheel strong, with the traction going smoothly. So I think it was a good choice for me for at the end of the stint of the mediums.
Thank you very much.
Will from Sky Sports VD. There we go. I just wanted to ask. I almost went up.
You've got multiple jobs, or what?
I was going to say, yeah. Well, I've got a few on the go. I saw towards the end you after you overtook Toro, you got the pace actually, and you were narrowing the time down from you to Kevin. Did you think if you had a couple more laps, you and Toro would be on him, and obviously going for the win as well?
I mean, it's true that if we had I think at least 2 laps more about DRS changing, we would have catch him. But I think the problem about not fighting with him at the end was the pit exit. I went with Toro, and when Toro was doing the turn, so I think we lost there the enough gap to get the DRS at the last lap or the 2 last laps.
And obviously Myro.
This is Myro again. Rechik, how do you think you could have done it better, so you could have won the race, like qualifying maybe better, maybe more practice?
I would love to practice more, but personal things cannot let me. So I practice all as possible, and of course qualifying is not my best. It is race, and if I have a little problem in the race or at mid qualifying I crash, for example, it is tough for me to get ahead, as they have better they know better the track and where to traction and where to everything. Meanwhile, I'm learning it at that moment.
Yes, thank you.
And now, Kevin, redemption day for you. I don't really care about your fantastic qualifying lap. That 15.8 was mega. But you had a fight with Mavers. Of course, Toro was talking about the horrible pit exit there. Were you ever wondering, like, oh wait, this undercut might be screwed because of that? Because you lost a bit of time there fighting out of the pit lane, side by side through turns 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you managed to get ahead through turn 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, was there any? Were you ever in doubt that the undercut would not work?
Yeah, I was really scared that I lost a lot of time behind fighting with Mavers, but luckily it was just enough. But yeah, I don't get it why he was fighting with me, because I think he was on all the mediums
Yes.
and I was on new soft, so I don't get it. But yeah, he has the right to fight, so yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy, because last race I was really angry with myself, and because I threw it away on the last lap, and yeah, I'm really happy that I finally won again.
Thank you very much. Will?
And Kevin, yeah. So, Kevin, I just wanted to ask, after they first overtake that jelly, sorry, not jelly, sorry.
I didn't
that-
overtake him.
well, you might have done.
Keep dreaming.
Rajic, I believe, or Toro was one of those two. And obviously he had the contact as well. Were you worried that damage was going to be in effect as well? And what do you think that would have affected your time as well?
I was not that worried about damage because I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel understeer or something. So no, I wasn't worried at all.
Yeah. I'm wondering, Kevin, how did you ever, at the end of the race, found so much grip on those old soft tires?
I
How?
think the magic was in sector 3 because in the first 2 sectors they were gaining because they had the DRS Rajic and or Rajic or Toro, and the last sector I think I gained a few tenths back to them. So I think that's where I found the most of the time.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
So, I think that is everything. So thank you all so much on behalf of all the commentators. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, LA. Thank you all so much for watching. It has meant so much. Please do drop us a follow if you want us to come back again. So we'll see you next Friday, same time at 6 o'clock in Australia. And I'm excited for that one. But until then, have a good night.